Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Now, come on in. Now, come. Sorry, y'all. Y'all know I'm weird. Whatever.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondy Blue. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondy Blue. Okay, follow me on Instagram and let's get into the video. Right?
Yo. Could y'all hear my claps? Did y'all hear my claps that time? So let me see. I feel like y'all can hear it. Well, we getting it? Let me know. Okay. Hi, everybody. It's your girl, Bondy Blue, and I'm back for another Bondy Blue show. Yes, we heard it. Great. All right. So I decided I was going to jump to with y'all today because I wanted to get through the Jonathan Major Sherri Shepard interview, right? Because, you know, there were a lot of comments on a post I made on Instagram drawing a correlation between how Sherri Shepard reprimanded young women for dressing, you know, clad, if you will. Okay. For young women not wearing enough clothing. Okay. A lot of times I feel like older women or women that have like a purity culture mindset, they put a lot of emphasis on women, you know, basically being sluts. Like it's a lot of, oh, you're dressing like that. Why are you dressing like that? Dressing like that means you don't respect yourself. It, you know what I'm saying? Like all of this. When really the truth of the matter is it doesn't matter how you dress. If you are going to be male centered and pick a man over yourself, over integrity, over another woman, over a child, if you're going to pick a man first and foremost above all, you are usually the one that is selling yourself out more so than the woman that is simply wearing an outfit that is what is it? What's the word I'm looking for? You know, a woman that is wearing an outfit that might be revealing, if you will. Okay, it's another word that's in my mind. Hold up. Is it starchly clad? Is that what it is? I think it might be starchly clad. Okay, I think that might be hold up, let me starchly clad. Okay, y'all know I like, you know. Let me see. Why y'all trying to sell me stuff? Like, girl, anyway. Starchly. I think it's starchly clad. I don't know. I think that might be what it is, even though like I feel like they're giving me an issue here on the Googler. But either way, it's scantily clad. Thank you so much. Scantily clad. Thank you. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I hate when I'm looking for it and I can't find it and I need it because that's what I want to say. Thank you. Okay. Scantily clad. Okay. I saw Felicia Rashad speaking on this. We saw Sherri Shepard speaking on this. And it just annoys me because I feel like ultimately in every generation since the 70s, there have been scantily clad dressed women. And even before that, there were women that if they could, they would have dressed scantily clad. I also feel like as a woman, as I said on OLFP last night, as women, these titties only sit up the way they do for a certain amount of years. Do you understand me? Like your body is only going to give the firmness of youth while you're young. And in women's youth, whenever they decide to show off their body because they're proud of it, because it looks good, because it's beautiful, everybody starts to lose their mind as if this is an example of a woman willing to do anything for a man. But usually the women that make that critique are willing to do anything for a man. That is usually exactly the mind frame. And when I think about Felicia Rashad, as much as I loved her, I think about you doing anything to defend Bill Cosby. When I think of Sherri Shepard, I think of the portrayal of her, not her actual personality, but she's one of those comedians that I feel like whatever roles you were put into often as a young actress, That's who you are. You were a comedian. Meaning, like, y'all remember when they would have Monique do like the, you know, the mean big girl. Y'all remember that, right? That's Monique's personality on some level. You know what I'm saying? In order for her to play that role. So when Sherri Shepard used to be out here with the you know, doing all of that over a man on the Jamie Foxx show and any other show she was on back then, to me, I committed that to the way she portrays herself as a woman. So now we've come all of these years in the future. You're on Wendy Williams' stage, and we're giving you the opportunity to, you know, prove me, not me, not we, me. I'm giving you the opportunity to show me something different, right? I wasn't hating on her like a lot of people was when Sherri got the job over down to the Wendy Williams show. Okay, because you know, Wendy had to go. Somebody had to come into the footsteps. Somebody had to come into the chair. And I feel like Sherri Shepard has been working in the industry for a long time. She has a long catalog of projects that she's been a part of. Why not? Right? But the way y'all fill those roles, as women, I think is so important. And if you are going to be a woman doing a talk show, and I feel like we should know what that means. Whenever women do talk shows, it has some form of impact on culture. Oprah, Tyra Banks, back when Queen Latifah used to have her show, like it leaves some type of an impact when a woman has a talk show that is mainly talking to women. So you have an impact. So when you bring an abusive man onto your stage so that you can coddle him, so that you can show us how a Black woman will just bring a violent Black man onto her bosom so that she can love the anger out of him as if that's fucking possible, I think that it leaves a bad mark on the culture, especially when you're a woman that will get up there and cover your titties for one day and put a dress on up to your goddamn neck just so that you can pass judgment on other women who are doing it all. Because to be very clear, Megan Thee Stallion is not only an ass-shaking rapper, she's also a college graduate and she owns businesses and she's going to be all right, regardless of whether she was shaking ass or not. And that man shot her and she was the victim. But somehow the Black community, half of them anyway, have decided to make her a perpetrator in lying about her own shooting so that y'all can protect some weird ass little nigga whose music y'all was barely paying attention to. That's how the Black community works a lot of the time. And this is an example of that. I was annoyed by the way Sherri Shepard used her platform to coddle Jonathan Majors. And I was annoyed with the way that Sherri Shepard used her platform to demonize and reprimand Megan Thee Stallion and them other women for wearing their body parts out. Because apparently we like to put violence and nudity on the same level. And I feel like it's not on the same level. But okay, I'm going to let y'all have y'all opinion on that. All right? Somebody, another content creator, and I noticed this. Sometimes content creators, they like what I do. Sometimes they don't always agree with me, but I feel like there should always be some type of mutual respect, especially when you come in on my page, Vanessa, trying to one up me. And I go and look at your page of 13,000 followers to see one of the first videos you talking about is being in an abusive relationship. But you in my comments telling me how I'm attacking somebody without all of the information. So thank you so much, Vanessa. Thank you so much, babe, because you're the reason why we're about to watch the majority of this. You're the reason why. Because y'all, all of y'all women, she's just somebody that was in my comments. It don't even matter. I don't even know the lady, but she was in my comments talking real tough, telling me that she wasn't in my comments to do my job for me because I should have researched the whole interview. I'm a person that understands nuance. I don't need to watch Sherri Shepard's entire interview with this man in order to know this was a representation of a Black woman coddling a man who is abusive. I don't need to be very specific about the fact that the clip that was shown when I gave my commentary was about the role he played, and she was crying about the role he played. That had nothing. I don't need to be that specific in order to understand what's happening here, because the energy is throughout the entire interview. This is when he first come out. She holding his hand. Why? This is a representation of what she's about to do throughout this interview. I'm holding your hand through this. I'm coddling you. I'm protecting you through this. But let's go ahead and watch it. Thank you for being here, everybody. I appreciate y'all.
Woo. There's a lot of energy, a lot of love over here.
Amen.
We've been waiting for you.
Amen.
I have to tell you, it's so many places that you could have gone, Jonathan, and you chose to come here. And I so appreciate you coming here, seeing the family. I appreciate you being here. You know, last time you were here was back, I believe it was March 2023. And you 2 years ago, you had started Marvel's, you were in Marvel's Ant-Man, and you came here and you were promoting Creed 3. Yeah. And I remember it was like your career was just, it was going so great, Jonathan. And in a matter of weeks, your entire world had changed. Your name was in the headlines. Your legal battles were playing out in front of everybody. And you got convicted of assault and misdemeanor assault and harassment. Yep. Now, I know that legally you cannot talk a lot about the details of what was going on, but while it was going on and you were going through all of that, how were you feeling?
I think I just got to say thank you so much for having me here. And how's I feeling? I was feeling, I mean, chaos came. Yeah. You know, and you talk about it, you know, you think about it, you know, oh, you're in war now. Oh, you know, this is it. You know, you're in the middle of it. The Bible talks about trials and tribulations, you know, but it's very different to find yourself in it. And you look at the Bible differently. And it's been a journey, you know. My love is here, you know, and Megan. And there were days when, you know, just no surprises, you know, laid up on the couch, just wouldn't move.
Okay, so let's discuss this. And I put that up just in case, you know, they want to do any type of, you know, copyright shit. So I'll be showing it intermittently. Y'all know that. So here's the thing. This is the first part of the interview, right? This man is doing two things already. Well, actually three things already. First of all, there's the physical part of this, right? The way his facial expressions are, the way he's an actor. He knows what the fuck he's doing when he's presenting. He's playing this role for everybody, right? This role is the man that has been bruised. He's the bruised baby bird that just needs somebody to help him along, right? So as he first starts this, the first thing, instead of taking accountability for what happened, because to be clear, you were violent with a woman half your size. Let's be clear. You strangled that woman previously. You told her not to go to the hospital because it was a danger for your career, for her to go to the fucking hospital because she felt like she might have had a concussion after y'all had a run-in. She didn't go. Then y'all had that run-in that happened out in public. And you were able to spin that because, like a lot of abuse victims, the psychology has already been implemented. So she is already acting like a crackhead behind this abusive man. So when he tries to shove her back into the car and she's like, no, Jonathan, I want to be with you. And now she's running behind him. Y'all are now viewing that as she was running behind him, as if she was going to hurt him, or as if he was trying to get away from her. He didn't want no parts of that white woman. He was trying to run from her. But that's not really what happened. And if everybody were to watch that security cam footage the way I did, then you would see how after he ran off, she stopped in front of some building and started talking to some people. He then realized that she was no longer chasing him and decided to walk in the opposite direction than he was going, which was back towards where she was. We see him on the camera walk past her and give her a look. She sees him. She stops talking to the other people, and then she runs behind him, and he slows his steps so that she can catch up with him. So if the man was really trying to get away from her, why did he do that? Why did he do that? That wasn't about getting away from her. That was about controlling what was happening in the moment. And in the moment, he was out of control of what the public was being able to see, which is why he just took, like, let me just run. because she's not going to be able to keep up with me. But if I stay with her, whatever's going on between us is going to be shown to the public, and I don't want that. I just want to break down what actually happened, right? Then the audio comes out that he admits he aggressed her, and he says he'd never done that before. But we know that he does it again because the car situation happened, and that's what he actually got charged on. He didn't get charged on strangling her. He didn't get charged on that. That wasn't what the charge was about. The charge was about trying to body slam her back into the SUV so that he can get away from her, because she saw that somebody named Cleopatra had texted him. And a lot of y'all act like as women, y'all have never went in on a man when y'all are on a date and they texting another woman right in front of you. Like you wouldn't pop off. Like you wouldn't try to snatch the phone. I'm not doing that. Especially not now, but younger Brittany, 19, 20, probably would have done that. Who the fuck you texting? And why you playing in my face trying to text somebody while you sitting next to me? That's disrespectful as fuck. If the girl would have popped off, I feel like if she did pop off, that's what most women would have did. But because it was a black man and a white woman and y'all want to view this the way y'all want to view this, y'all are going to take yourselves out of it, right? Y'all are going to censor him and not censor her, or censor yourself as a woman to recognize that if you were in her situation, you probably would have had some of the same feelings and emotions. Who the fuck is you texting with me sitting right here? So he was being disrespectful. He was lying. He was cheating, and he was abusive. Okay. He's explaining this to y'all as if this is some type of war he's in. So now you've taken this very real thing and made it metaphorical. That way you can make it seem as if this is a trial and tribulation that life is putting you through and God is trying to take you out of. Then you can put the religion on it and make yourself look like a victim. That's what he did. I just want to be clear. Let's continue.
Actually, one block down from where we are now. It's funny, when we drove in here, I looked and I went, oh, that's the place.
Yeah.
You know, that was hard. But it's been a healing journey. It's been a moment of reflection. It's been 2 years of growth, healing, accountability about, you know, who I was, where I was, what I was doing.
Yeah.
Where my mind was at, where my spirit was at. And I was saying to Megan, I'll conclude, I was saying to Megan a couple nights ago, I said, I feel different. I just feel different.
Yeah.
You know, and I love the man I am now. And I don't know if I could thank you.
And listen, let's be very clear. If you have ever been in an abusive relationship with a man, if that's you right now, I want you to think about the man who abused you. And I want you to ask yourself, do you think if he quickly moved on to another woman after y'all two broke up, would he have been different with the next woman, or would it have only taken an amount of time for the real Ike Turner to show up? You know, I was wondering when real Ike Turner was going to show up. Because everybody knows how to manipulate and act as if they've changed without doing any real work. So he can get up here and perform and tell you it's been 2 years, but was there ever a break in time when y'all weren't together, you and Megan, where you didn't have another source to feed from? Like, were you ever on your own, having to dealing with your own feelings and your own emotions and having to calm down? Were you ever at a point where you had to go and take some deep-rooted therapy and be on your own to deal with it? No, you know that didn't happen, because he literally was messing with both of them women at the same time, and then just went into this relationship, this public relationship with Megan, as everything was coming out about the abuse. You never had any time to go and get any real help. So waking up one day talking about, I feel different. You know why you feel different? Because now it feels as if your career still has a shot. And I want this to be proof to everybody. Whenever y'all be in the comments, oh, black men, whenever somebody, you know, does something, y'all let the white men get away with it. The black men are able to get away with it as well. And the way that they get away with it is by using this very cliche let me come lay my head on some big titty black woman. Okay, and I'm just being, you know, facetious, because it could be any black woman. But let me go and find some black woman that is always going to view me as some black boy that's being taken advantage of by a system that feels like, you know, you're bad and you're wrong. So there's always some black woman out there somewhere that still has those remnants of slavery, those remnants of Jim Crow, of the civil rights, the racism, the internalized misogynoir, all of that. There's always some black woman that is going to see a monster of a man as some broken child that her coochie can fix, or her healing energy. Iyanla, Sherri, Megan. A woman always has the ability to use her healing coochie energy to fix some abusive man. The funny part about that is I have rarely seen abusive men change without something actually happening long term to fix it. I've rarely seen that. I have rarely seen that. They may, you know, fix how they act around you once they know they fucked up. But essentially, mad again, they still end up being in control of themselves. Life, something is always upset you.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you just, if you call
I know,
me
ma'am.
one
Oh,
more
I said
time,
ma'am. I
you
said
better call me
ma'am.
Sherri.
I'm sorry, Sherri. I'm sorry, Sherri.
You know, it's
I just left my mama.
I know.
So like, not that's not what I'm saying.
No,
But,
because I have that nurturing quality.
Yeah.
I have that nurturing
well, no,
quality.
it's just I'm a
So
sub.
we're actually drawing attention to the fact that she has a nurturing quality and is now playing a mothering role to him. Oh, let's continue.
Boy.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I can't shake it.
I appreciate that.
So I apologize.
No, you ain't got to apologize. We good.
Yes,
I love you.
I love you,
get
Sherri.
that. Yeah, oh, thank you. You know, and thank you for that.
Yes, ma'am.
Do what you're gonna do. Do what you're gonna do, because I know you love me. It was a few days ago. This happened. This audio recording from 2022. It was leaked to the press. It was allegedly of you and your ex discussing an aggressive incident. Now, what can you tell me about that? How does this make you feel? Like now this is coming out. You got a movie coming out. Big things are happening, and now this tape of you allegedly doing this is coming out now. How are you feeling about that?
Do y'all see the way she created a juxtaposition? She didn't ask him to be accountable for what came out. She asked him how he feels about it coming out while he has good things happening. She created a juxtaposition there. That's a very specific question.
But God has a plan.
Oh,
And sometimes you just throw your hands up, you know.
Again, no responsibility, no accountability. God. Oh, I fucked up. It's God. God gonna fix me. Oh, I did this. Oh, it's God. Oh, it was a demon. It was that energy of a demon. It was that demon energy of this. I really want to know when society is going to stop using religion as a scapegoat for their behavior, whether good or bad. When are you going to accept the fact that it's only you? It's only you at the end of the day.
You like it, you know. But I do know there's a plan. And I've let go of control, you know, and I just say, hey, whatever it is, you know.
You were recently opened up to the Hollywood Reporter. I read this article. And I know that must have been difficult to talk about because you talked about the abuse that you suffered, that you went through as a child, Jonathan.
Do y'all see how she just skated over that question? She asked him about the recording coming out. He said it's God, and now we move on to this role that he plays. But please tell me about how she was crying about a fucking clip. Please tell me about how she wasn't praising Jonathan Majors. She was praising the role that he played. In the first, however many minutes of interview, coddling, protecting, and allowing him to use God and Megan as a scapegoat.
That's very hard to come out and talk about that because it's something so private. What got you to this place that you felt you were able to share that?
Growth. In the past 2 years, I mean, so I'm an athlete, right?
Yeah.
And I'm an actor, right? And the two things that accompany those occupations are instructors, teachers, mentors. And I had all that. Okay. Athletically, I have that. You know, I've got great trainers. I've got great nutritionists. I was blessed enough to go to some really great schools for my craft. But then there's the third vertical, just like the self. And the self, because I was so focused on career and health and all these things, Jonathan, myself got left to the wayside. And the self, myself, I left that aside. And now in this moment, well, Jay, if the acting thing works for you and you did it this way, you got to do yourself wellness and your self-help the same way. So I brought in the Avengers, you know, of therapists, you know.
So therapy
therapy and my pastor, you know, Darius Daniels, you know, who I love and cherish. Shout out to
Yeah, I'm sorry. I love the way he threw that out there, but I'm not gonna ever I'm never going to give much validation and credence to when somebody tells me that they pastor and their therapist helped them. Okay. Because usually there's some type of religious narrative mindset in there somewhere that is going to keep him from being fully accountable. Because let's be real, if and listen, I saw people in the comments talking about, oh, the movie look good. The movie does look good. Jonathan is an amazing actor. Nobody has ever argued that. I have watched almost everything that the man has been in because he is such a good actor. I would just appreciate you stop playing in my fucking face with all of these publicity antics to try to clean it up. Just come out and say, man, look, I'm fucked up. I'm fucked up. I have a really hard time at controlling my anger sometimes. And like a lot of men, I was not socialized that I should have to always control my anger, because displaying my anger backed people up off me. Displaying my anger protected me sometimes. So, you know, got me my way when I wanted it. But I'm now going through it so that I can relearn and I can let go of like, if people would be fucking real, I really do feel like a lot of us would be a little bit more understanding. But when you come in trying to pour sugar on shit and tell me it's green when it's blue, that's when we're gonna have a problem. I'm gonna have to keep clocking every time I feel like you lying or trying to manipulate. I'm sorry. You're not being honest. You're not being real. You're not. It just looks that way.
Change Church. They have been, he didn't know I was going to say his name, Lord have mercy. I love you, man. That, and I was strong enough to go to it at that point.
I'm a mother, Jonathan, I have a son, a teenage son. And I know hearing something like that, because you said you went to your mother and and you talked about this with your mother, that is something that the guilt would have been all on me. I don't know if I would have been able to let that go. And you said something, you said you didn't blame your mother. You just were telling her, just to get to that place. So that speaks of a certain forgiveness. Like, how did you even get to that point where you could talk to your mother about that?
The first person I spoke to about it was Megan.
Okay.
And then months went by. So it's not like I was like, oh, great session. You know, great prayer. Call dad, call mom. Yeah. No. It was a process for my growth and for my family's growth. Because as I said, we're a Southern household, and certain things don't get talked about. And it was important for me that my mother knew that I, and that we were going to be okay. The family was going to be okay, and we were going to be stronger because of it. Because it was a cancer in our family, and it was a cancer in me. And you would be a fool to have a surgeon right in front of you and not go to it. To have a doctor right there and just be happy being sick because you were ashamed, that you sprained your ankle when you were 9. You know what I mean? That's silly. It's the drive for healing.
Okay, back up, because I feel like the language he's using about his abuse is the language that should have been used somewhat, because he's still doing this thing where he frames everything in some type of allegory or some type of metaphor. He never frames it for exactly what it is, and that's bothersome to me. People who don't talk straight and they always use some type of euphemism to say what they're saying, that's problematic to me.
Okay.
And then months went by. So it's not like I was like, oh, great session.
The guilt would have been all on me. I don't know if I would have been able to let that go. And you said something, you said you didn't blame your mother. You just were telling her, just to get to that place of that speaks of a certain forgiveness. Like, how did you even get to that point where you could talk to your mother about that?
The first person I spoke to about it was Megan.
Okay.
And then
I don't believe this. I don't believe the first person he told about his abuse was Megan, because most of the time men use their abuse as a way to trauma bond with women.
Months went by. So it's not like I was like, oh, great session. Great prayer. Call dad, call mom. No. It was a process for my growth and for my family's growth. Because as I said, we're a Southern household, and certain things don't get talked about. And it was important for me that my mother knew that I knew, and that we were going to be okay. The family was going to be okay, and we were going to be stronger because of it. Because it was a cancer in our family, and it was a cancer in me. And you would be a fool to have a surgeon right in front of you and not go to it. To have a doctor right there and just be happy being sick because you were ashamed, that you sprained your ankle when you were 9. You know what I mean? That's silly. it's the drive for healing, you know.
That's hard for, especially for Black men going to therapy, talking about their mental state, crying. How would you speak to that for Black men being able to go and get help, to be able to talk about those things that are so painful?
Right. I mean, to my brothers, I got to say, like, we walk around all the time talking like, oh, what's up, king? What's up, bro? I got you, man. I'm holding you down. What's a king if he's not full? You know?
I really want them to stop clapping at everything at every period. There's a clap. Stop it. Please stop.
What's a brother if you can't talk to your mans and be like, hey, this is what I'm feeling right now.
Yeah.
And hey, I'm feeling this way because of this, and to be able to identify it, and then to get help with that, like that's a superpower to go, I know, and I don't know everything that's in me right now. I don't know but I'm digging and I'm working at that, So for my brothers, I would say, hey, we got to grow. We've got to move, and don't let anything stop you from being the best man you can be, and usually the thing that stops, and this is what I realized, the thing that stops you from being the best man you can be is the man in the mirror. That's the guy that's carrying all the shame, that's carrying all the, he's carrying, that guy is the guy carrying all the hurt, you know what I mean? And he gets tired, you know what I mean? He gets really tired. And we get tired, brothers, you know what I mean? Like life is enough. Yeah. Walking around as a Black man is enough in this country. That's hard, Get your foot off your own neck, And the best way to do that is to get in touch with yourself, and to deal with those things.
It's something that struck me. I remember watching you in an award show, and
so right now, this is the I'm getting emotional, right? And y'all may not be responding to my tears the way I want y'all to. So now, even though she's moving on to the next question, he is like I gotta let y'all know that I'm emotional. This nigga is acting.
Iyanla Vanzant was.
But be clear though, I want y'all to understand something. Something about abusive men that are like this, y'all. Even though they're acting, they're actually feeling the feelings. Like, I want to be clear that I can actually see and understand as an actress myself, like when you are able to go and reach for something inside of yourself in order to bring your tears forward, you are in that emotion in the moment. So that's why this looks so real. Because, and especially with abusive men, I don't know if y'all have ever seen it, but nobody cries like a nigga that's gonna backhand slap the fuck out you for no reason at some point. Like, nobody cries and showcases all of their brokenness like a man that is going to knock the shit out of you at some point.
She welcomed you up on stage and you hugged her and she held you. And I know there have been women of color who felt you deserved a second chance to rebuild your life. What has the support been like for you from women surrounding you in your life, Jonathan?
So I'm just looking at that.
Yeah, we all looked at that. Like, you just couldn't stop. You let go.
Yeah, it's
I changed my mind back and forth about the Iyanla aspect of this because I feel like Iyanla is still supposed to be who she's supposed to be. So, if somebody comes to her and she does her work to heal them and they go on and they have not actually changed, it's not a representation of her lack of power. It's a representation of the fact that that person didn't really want to change. But there is something about the way things are done when they are done in front of people that I recognize as intentional. And so as much as I have grown up really being emboldened myself by Iyanla, being emboldened myself as a young woman, a lot of my understanding and my self-respect came from my mother giving me Iyanla Vanzant books when I was a teenager. So, and I've read her books throughout my life. And y'all know how a part of me blowing up on, YouTube, a part of that was Fix My Life. So I have an absolute affection, understanding, respect. I've met her in real life before for Iyanla. But this is bullshit. This is bullshit and it angers me. It angers me with her. Because yes, this may be beyond my own understanding. I'm not, an asshole. I know I don't know everything and I know I don't understand everything. It's not for me to understand. It's not for me to know. But because of my own personal shit, it has always bothered me to see women coddle abusive men. It has always bothered me. It always will. Because I see the way y'all go after people that are not abusing anybody. I see the way y'all other people that are not abusing anybody, but because they are not in a box that makes you feel comfortable, you feel okay with being abusive to the girls that y'all consider fast, to the gay girls, the gay boys, like to anybody that's outside of what y'all deem as respectable or fitting into some type of role, y'all will spit fire and venom at people that have done no harm. But somebody that actually does harm, you will respect, you will venerate, you will praise and ignore their faults while continuing to allow the abuse to take place. So for me, when it comes to Iyanla today, right now, where I feel about it, watching them use the clip of her doing all of that, especially now that I feel how I feel right now spiritually, it's giving bullshit. It's giving bullshit on all fronts. But whatever you need to tell you,
it's been really beautiful, you know. Primarily because, you know, so much of my you know, we talked about the incidents in my youth. Like, you wear that, you know, and people sometimes confuse their character with their trauma. You know what I mean? And you start moving a certain way and having certain limiting thoughts because of something that happened to you.
Yeah.
And when I see sisters holler at me in the street, you know what I mean? When I'm walking down the road and they just pull me aside and want to pray with me on the corner, you know, it goes, oh, I feel emboldened and I feel confident and I feel encouraged to keep going the way I was going, you know.
I know y'all may not have heard that the way I heard that. I know somebody's going to interpret it differently. I heard it, and what I heard is whenever there are pick-me women that are willing to coddle me because they see their brother, son, man, what have you, in me, they see a man that they would want to fuck in me, they come to me with all of their bosoms. And they pray for me and they coddle me and they tell me that me strangling that white girl was perfectly fine. And because of that, I feel like I can continue to do exactly what I was doing, which is use my blackness and my maleness to manipulate y'all into making me great and allowing me to still be abusive. That's what I heard, especially when he said it allows me to keep going on that road that I was going. I know the other side of that. I'm not dumb. I know the other side of that is exactly what he's saying. Those women help him to be on the road to recovery, right? Those women let him know that him going through the therapy and getting well, that's the road that he should stay on, because while he's on that road to get back to his career and back to the height of his fame and success, there are Black women along the way telling him, you got it, son. You got it, baby. You got it, boy. You got it, man. So you can see it one of two ways.
Keep going to the help, you know what I mean? And when I look out here and I see all these sisters, and I was like, I don't know if they paid y'all to clap or what, but man, I love y'all. I really do. I really do.
You know, it's to receive this love, and I love this for you, Jonathan. You found love with actress Megan Good, and
that's what we'll end it, because we covered those clips.